Right, let's start styling our menu.view and we're going to be using the new 2.0 Vuetify instead of the new grid system they created. In the previous videos I actually used the 1.5 and apparently there was an update that I kind of forgot about. And if you go to UI components in the Vuetify here and you scroll down to grids, you can see how it's being built going forward. And you can still use the 1.5, but who knows for how long. It's being deprecated, which means at some point it will probably disappear because it's not being supported anymore. And they're going to focus on the 2.0. If you want to use the 1.5, there's still documentation for it here, but you can't find vflexes in this documentation anymore, so you have to click here to go. I just went through it, and some of the things are similar or the same, but one of the major things is they remove the V layout and they remove the V flex, and they're now called, instead of V flex, we have something called V columns. Instead of V layout, we have V rows. So we're going to try to build our new page going forward with this. I'm not going to, the other ones we already created, we're going to leave those. You can switch it up if you want to, but I'm not going to waste time on that in the videos. But we're going to build forward. I'm probably gonna make some mistakes here, so the videos might take a minute or two longer at sometimes, but whatever, right? That's what happens sometimes when you do development. So we're gonna start by creating columns like we have here. So we can just scroll down here to see the playground. So if you want to test this or grab this information here, this is just doing a for loop to create these 3 here, or these 5 here. You can just go through some of these and see if something you like, but I'm just going to create it from scratch because I just tested it a little bit. Or this one here, right? Hey, this is nice. This has the rows, columns, and 3 of these. So looking at this, this is going to be our base. So going into our application back here, we're going to remove the div inside here, and we're going to do yet another V container like we had before, because those still work, luckily. And in this one, we're still going to be, we're not going to be creating a V layer, we're going to be creating a V row. Let's do V row, like so. And in here, we're going to create a V column. And as I understand this is now how they do this. Is for me kind of the other way around compared to before, but that might just be me. We want 2 columns in this one compared to our design here, right? We want the, if I can get it up here, 1 over here and 1 over here. That's what we want to do. So that's what I'm creating here. So I'm just gonna go left and right. I'm gonna click save. I'm gonna see what that does to my, so I have left over here and right over here. So it's already doing this separation. It's putting it into a flex, and then it's doing the, so equal size, it looks like. Cool. So that works, but as we see here, there are many new different things we can do. Apparently there's a gutter. If we just scroll down here, there's a standard gutter of 24 pixels. We can use dense if we want to remove the size between it, or we can write no gutter if we don't want any gutters at all. But before we get to this point, I just want to make sure that each of my V columns here, they have an actual div block, so the background image. I'm just going to do this inside my columns, and I'm going to create a div with an ID of info. For now, I might change this later, and let's put left in here. I'm gonna copy this, do the same with right, and type right here, and then I'm just gonna add some style to this down here. So let's do this real quick, info, and let's add background color of white. So hopefully this will grant us an error. Cool, that's not right because I did the wrong one here, so it's a semicolon here. So now we can see this, and they actually already set up a column. There's no paddings or anything to this yet, so but by using some of the other older ways of doing this, we can still add classes to our div blocks here. So if we do class, and that's then we are going to add some paddings for all sides, and we're going to add 2. I'm just going to copy this to the other one and do this, boom, and like so. And then you see now we have the padding, so it's moved a little bit in and from each of the sides. So that kind of still works for one. Now, in the design, we have a column over here, a column here, and column here. And I would have used the offsets and everything like we have in home, where we had these offsets here like this. But that changed in the new one, as I understand. So we need to do it a little bit different now. but we are still going to go into the column here. And the first one has an offset of, I'm going to use the medium size of 1. And let's save, and that should move it here. So that creates the column space over here. Now I also need to have a space between this one, but we'll fix that later. Actually, we'll fix that now. So we are going to grab this column offset here, and we're going to attach this to the other column as well. So that creates this space, should create this space here as it did. I just forgot to save. Cool. Now I need to remove, so I have the space over here as well. Now I can use what is this called, the other one where we like declare the, here we go. So we just type SM2 for small, that uses 2 columns. And it's a little bit different here. Now we do it, we add the attribute, and then we have to do equal and add the actual amount of columns we use. So I'm going to add 5 for this one. Let's do save. I don't think it actually changes this. But here, down here on the other one, oh, not offset, we just want MD here. We're going to add 4. And now this takes up 5 columns and 4 columns. So it's a little bit different. I'm not entirely sure this is the 100% correct way to do it, but it works. But I'll show you this. I haven't figured out completely how to get these into 2 rows instead. I probably have to do something weird with this one that I haven't figured out. So if you have an idea or figured that one out, please write in the comments to how to do this, because that's new for me still. But now we have the setup of this one using the new grid system. And since I'm doing this real quick in this one, in the next video we're going to use the simple table to set up the left part of the page, this one over here, with a table, and start styling this in our menu.